Are we all in frame?
Just sucking it in.
Yep.
All right, good. I got Funky Comadina and Rusty Buttons here today. I'm Doug.
And I'm Anna.
We bought a wooden teardrop camper kit off the internet.
We have zero experience, but it came with a manual that has a lot of pictures.
It showed up in 3 boxes that look like this.
And we hope to make it look like this, this, and this.
Please follow along as we figure this out.
And make a lot of mistakes. Hello! Today we are going to start sanding with an orbital sander, and we are going to use 120 grit sandpaper going section by section. That's going to be my job, and then husband face is going to come back around and hand sand. I forgot already what you called it.
I'm going to relieve the edges.
Relieve the edges. So sanding, sanding. Some more sanding today. We ran out of sandpaper to finish. I'd say we're 3/4 of the way through, but we need some more 120 to finish up. And then we also have to do a 220.
220.
Yeah, got it right. A round with 220 sandpaper. And then what?
We still have to relieve the edges on this side. You were my way, or I was waiting for my turn over there. To relieve those edges over there, and then 220 tomorrow night. So honestly, I think we have less sanding to do tomorrow night because I'll be able to relieve the edges on that side, and then come show them here the couple of connecting points that these I ground down and sanded flat then as well. So I got to do those on the other side and relieve the corners while you do the rest in 220.
Okay.
So should be a fun night tomorrow night too. Another night of sanding.
What? Toodaloo.
Okay.
Hey, what you doing over there, Doug?
Go ahead and come over here closer. So we have our lines in between the panels, and you can see you can get a fingernail into there. So we're gonna fill that with some thickened epoxy, but before we fill that, just taking this brush to get the gaps out. Like for instance, you can see here, there's sawdust in there. Sawdust in here as you go along. We'll clean that out and then carefully smear in some thickened epoxy. Should be a really good time. All right, that's it. Quick cleanup and then epoxy. Hey guys, I just included this clip because I wanted to show you 2 things. Number 1, I just cut down the camper mold here to create a platform for us to be able to set the camper on, just to raise it up a little bit. And number 2, I just had to show you how crazy strong my wife is. Super proud of her.
Beautiful.
Does this help? What we're doing today, we've got our 6mm fiberglass rolls. We're going to put 2 of them over the top here, leaving a little bit of gaps on both ends. You're mixing up epoxy today.
Okay.
And then I'll have you run it over to me, and then we'll be spreading that on the epoxy till it's clear. So this will be our first big fiberglass job. It's the fun of it.
Go higher. Okay, so we have finished, I almost said sheetrocking. We have finished fiberglassing the top of the Teardrop camper. 2 sheets of fiberglass.
6 ounce.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups of epoxy is what we ended up going through.
175 pumps of epoxy. I don't know what that goes to ounces. I would say probably 130 ounces.
Something. A lot. I mean, it wasn't that bad though. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean we
And
definitely
we dumped
got
a lot on the
30
floor.
ounces on the floor from
Yeah.
the spillage.
But overall, I think it went really well. I was the mixer, Doug was the epoxy spreader. So what do you think?
I constantly was spreading, but you did a ton of spreading just because I couldn't quite keep up. For sure, at least a 2-man job. I would have taken a third. Then we could add 1 mixer and 2 people
2
spreading,
spreaders.
and then I think that would have been ideal.
Would have gone a lot
If
faster.
you were going to do the sides at the same time, 4-person minimum.
Ooh.
I'll go out there and
A
say
patty.
for us.
Yeah.
Maybe experienced people that can get down on the list, but I am really happy with it. I think it's gonna dry up nicely. A little bit of cleanup on the edges, but I don't think that there's gonna be much sanding on these edges at all. Get a little drip here, they'll take some sanding, but like the fiberglass laid really flat, so I don't. There'll be a little build up there to feather in, but
I think we've learned after doing the other fiberglassing on the inside just to cut the darts when we see an issue. So we did that right away.
yeah, you were still just talking at the camper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we did that now as we went along this time, and I feel like that worked really well. You can't even really tell where we
Where was our dart?
put in darts. You can't tell. I mean, there's one of them
Here's
right
one
there.
dart. Yeah,
There's
right there. That's a
multiple.
dart, so that'll be a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we all in frame?
Sucking it in.
Yep.
All right, good. I got Funky Cole Medina and Rusty Buttons here today. We don't want you to. We want to be very softly
You're
framed.
gonna funk the whole end of the trailer and some of it.
So today what we're doing is we've got our fiberglass laid out on the shell of the camper. Anna's on mixing up of epoxy, and then we got our spreading monkeys here to spread the epoxy on here in a smooth fashion. So let's see how it goes.
I was worried about fiberglass, so I brought PPE, thinking they were going to be slivers.
Not necessary.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, I was all stressed about it.
Is this my phone or did I leave my phone inside? what I found out is peeling the tape off really sucked. And so I'm doing these little foldovers and putting that down on there. So then I got a quick pull tab. Brilliant.
So smart.
Bonus footage this week, guys, is my dad actually drove over his 88.5 Suzuki Samurai that we rebuilt together a couple years ago. We actually picked it up from one of our subscribers, and it was a fun project we did together. He was eager to show it off, and so am I.